Welcome to the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show, a real estate investment program. Listen and learn how to use real estate to build wealth and passive income streams for you and your family. We bring you experts every day to discuss and answer your questions on everything from single-family homes all the way up to 600-plus unit apartment complexes. And now, the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show.
Hey, this is David Ruzicka with Lifestyles Unlimited. I am so glad to be with you today. When I joined Lifestyles Unlimited, I heard people talking about changed lives, and I certainly had a clear vision of how I wanted to change my life through real estate investing, but I thought, changed lives, that sounds so cheesy. Is it some kind of cult? What is that? And I'm talking today with a multi-millionaire real estate investor, David Fisher, one of our instructors, teaches the 2-day class, and he has probably changed, I would say, at least a few thousand lives in teaching the 2-day class and teaching people how to achieve financial independence. And what I want for you today is to hear and to understand how your life can be changed through passive income from real estate investing. So David Fisher, glad you're with me today, and let you kind of kick off and give us a thumbnail sketch. By the way, David started when 2009 was $65,000 a year income. This last year, $2 million. And so that's what I want him to communicate to you today, how you can have that kind of lifestyle change. So David, say hello and give us a thumbnail sketch of your life in terms of investing.
Sure. So folks out there listening for the first time especially, I remember back when I joined years ago, I'm like, is this stuff real? How on earth, Lifestyles has this message. You hear the commercial all the time, retire in 5 years or less through passive income. Like, well, what the heck is that? What does that mean to me? And people always ask me that. So I take it back to when I joined because I was totally skeptical about it. And guys listening out there, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a constitutional conservative. I believe in America. I believe in a free market. And I love what Lifestyles teaches because it's not a political organization. It's an organization that teaches people how to do real estate and retire in 5 years or less. So I came in very skeptical, but once I actually took action on the information they taught me, which was a guy named Del Walmsley, he's the founder, he showed me how to buy real estate the right way. There's lots of ways to do real estate, but he showed me the right way. So in 2009 when I joined, just so folks out there understand when I came and when I joined, and when Dave said we made $65K a year, actually it was my wife who made $65K a year. I was a stay-at-home dad. My wife was a captain in the Air Force. So, does that sound like a millionaire to you? It's just regular working-class people. Now, I'm ex-military. My wife's ex-military. We're big-time patriots. And my wife, when we joined, was actually active duty, serving the U.S. Air Force as a nurse. And we were making $65,000 a year. And before that, I was actually in businesses. I had stereo stores and stuff. And I saved up some money, and I put it in the stock market. I did what everybody told us to do. I followed that Dave Ramsey map, and I had the paid-off house. I had $500,000 spread out between my IRA and my stock portfolio, well-diversified, like everybody teaches you. The problem is the market took a crap on me. So if you go back and look at what happened to the stock market in April 2009, the Dow Jones Industrial Average went down to 6,700. In other words, between 2008 and 2009, that $500,000 I had in a well-diversified portfolio turned into just $70K. So here I am. I took another financial crap on myself. I was down to $70,000 from $500 million and said, what am I going to do? Now, this happened multiple times in my life. There's Black Monday back in 87 where I took a loss. And multiple times I took a loss. I said, when is enough is enough? And what April 2009 was no different than what the market is like today. It's crazy right now. There's big political change, new president coming on. Everybody's scared what to do in this market. It's the same as when I joined in April 2009, and I decided I needed to do something different rather than what I was doing this whole time. So I followed the map that Del Walmsley taught me. I started with $70K. I never did real estate investing before. I did exactly what he showed me. I bought one little house, then I bought an apartment, and I kept doubling my way towards retirement. I took that initial $70K. Now, I've been a member for 10 years, and I turned that into over $8 million. You're like, whoa, that sounds crazy. What's cool about this is now I took that same map that Del Walmsley gave me, and I teach other people that map, how to actually do it. Not just talk about it, but actually do it. And I've retired hundreds and hundreds of people. And, you see on Facebook, when you go to my Facebook post, David Fisher, just search me if you want to look me up on Facebook. But all these members that came to my seminar and are now retiring themselves from six-figure incomes through real estate investing, even though they had no experience. So if a dumb guy like me can do it with a high school diploma, if I can do it, I know you guys can do it. So if you're listening out there today and you say, is there some other way than the 401k, the IRA, the TSP, the 403b, all the stuff that society told you that you retire, here's a dumb guy with a high school diploma that can do this. It doesn't take any prior experience. Yes, it takes a little bit of money to do this, but that's what I do. Is now I actually teach a seminar how to do it, how to invest in real estate every step of the way. So that's what I did, basically. I turned $70K into $2 million. I'm sure throughout the hour, Dave will ask me different questions about this, but I want to know everybody out there listening is regular folks can do this too. You can retire quickly through real estate. And what Lifestyles does is provides a map exactly how to do that. And that's what I teach. When I actually teach a seminar, I teach you step by step so that everybody who comes to my seminar on Monday gets to go out there and they can buy real estate with the information I gave them. They will be all prepared, even if they have no real estate experience. That's it in a nutshell of what I actually do and what my story was and how I did it through real estate very quickly was with the map that Dell gave me. And throughout the hour, I want to explain that. And I want anybody who has any questions about it, call in. Remember, this is a live radio show, so you guys can call in with any questions, and I'll answer them throughout this hour. So, Dave, that's basically how it started.
Yeah, if you have a question for Dave, if you want to ask a multimillionaire real estate investor a question, the number is 855-497-4335. I want to repeat that, 855-497-4335. We want to hear from you. And one thing that David said that I want to reiterate, because that was me, is that he had no prior real estate investment experience. And so on the other side of the break, we're going to answer some questions. I'm going to ask David some more questions. Want to have you hang on with me and want to get you on your way to financial freedom.
Welcome back to the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. It's time to turn up the volume and fine-tune your passive income plan so you can create the lifestyle you've always wanted.
Hey, I'm so glad to be with you today. This is David Ruzicka with Lifestyles Unlimited. I'm really excited to be talking to a good friend of mine today, David Fisher. David went from $65,000 a year in income that actually his wife made in the military in 2009 to $2 million last year. And so our goal today is to let you know how you can get on your way to financial freedom. And I said before the break, if you have questions, you can call this number, 855-497-4335. And I've got James in Texas. I'm going to see if I can get him on here. You have a question for David Fisher?
Yes, I've got several small apartment complexes, and I'm trying to buy a 40 or 50 unit complex, and everything I'm finding at 150 a door is just terrible. So I'm just wondering if I'm just out of touch with what price I should be paying. Are the values really this great right now, and should I just accept that as the norm and go for it?
First off, James, what city are you in Texas?
I live in Richmond. I've got property in Fort Bend County, Galveston County. I'm all over the place.
You know what Lifestyles, what we teach is B and C class properties. And I see them, some are at $100-some thousand a door. That's not what Lifestyles buys. That's not what we teach to buy. That's where people are getting premiums on perfect properties. What Lifestyles teaches is, I don't know if you've been to our seminars before, but we teach how to find distressed assets. And what you're going to find in every single city, there's 4 or 5 big players. We call it the old boys network. And if you're on the outside trying to do it on your own, we believe that investing is a team sport. Build a team around you. We actually have realtors for Lifestyles and brokerage that actually finds us a lot of pocket or off-market deals. And we're finding stuff $50K, $70K, $80K a door where there's still some meat on the bone. There are plenty of deals out there. I'm in the San Antonio market myself. We've did over 40 small apartments, in the last year, up to 200 units, smaller apartments, 50 units, 100 units, different size like that. So there's plenty of great deals out there. You just might not be fishing in the right pond or reaching out to the same brokers. I don't know if you're a member of Lifestyles, if you've ever been to Lifestyles before. Have you, James?
No, I need to come to Lifestyles because I'm fishing in the wrong pond. And I must get 30 offers a day.
Okay, yeah, and that's what I find. Even a guy like you has a lot of experience. It would be awesome if you could even pool your investments to go to a big one. You could 1031 exchange so you pay no commission. And we can help you every step of the way to do that. So sometimes, as a real estate investor out there on your own, it is tough. So I would recommend, like us, we have 50,000 members nationwide. We own apartments all across America. That strength behind you, even though you have some experience, we can help you every step of the way. And, if you just want to see what Lifestyle's about, go to one of our free workshops, James. They don't cost any money. And you can ask the guy there questions, and he can tell you about the seminar that I teach, which is 2 days long, which would probably help you even run your apartment you already have better.
How much is your course, your 2-day course? Do I need to join up Lifestyles first and then enroll in your course?
Well, that's a great question, James. We actually have a free workshop. And normally the membership's about $740. Typically when you go to the free workshop, which David Ruzicka, the other guy that's the radio host, actually teaches them. They're about an hour and a half long. We have them all over the place. We even have virtual ones right now because of COVID, right? Because we can't have them in person.
Everything is virtual right now.
Yeah, so when David teaches a class, they give a discount during the class. I'd go to that. It's like half price or something like that. Go to one of those free workshops online, and then you can type questions and stuff to him. Once you do that, I have a 2-day seminar. It's 2 days long, but I basically go through single-family and multifamily investing, how we do it, how people partner up. There's lots of things you can do with real estate. And right now you're an IRO. You're buying them by yourself, but you can even bring in other partners. There's lots of opportunity if you want to do that, or we can help you buy a bigger one on your own. We can help you every step of the way. And that's what we teach once you actually come to the seminars.
All right, excellent. Because I can get money. I just have to have the right deal that I'm comfortable with, like what you're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. We can show you how to do it. So what I would suggest is go to the free workshop, and I'm sure David Ruzicka can give you details on that, whether it's a number you got to call or the login to get to that. Watch that, James, and then you'll probably have more questions, and we can answer those for you as we go, okay?
So I'm going to do that real quick. Do you have any that are not virtual?
Right now we have to do it virtual. We can't do live till they let us in the state of Texas. But you have something you want to add, Dave?
Yeah, I was just going to say, not until after first quarter will we be doing anything in person, and we don't even know for sure when that'll be exactly. But right now, everything live stream is actually working really well. You're able to ask questions, and probably people ask a lot more questions than they would otherwise. But if you just go to lifestylesunlimited.com, free workshop, click that. I'm actually doing the one next Saturday at noon, and there's another one, I think, Wednesday at noon of this week. And I do offer that discount. It's $297 for 2 years as opposed to $740 for 1 year. And so if you come on that, James, we can get you moving forward. What you're talking about, James, we really take to heart, and that's a big part of Lifestyles, is surrounding yourself with successful, like-minded people.
So I'll be signing up with you for next Saturday, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
And when you come to that, and if Dave's teaching it, David Ruzicka, say, hey, I was a guy called on the radio, you can just type him a message. He can type messages back to you then later, too. So that's cool. Okay, well,
good
thanks
deal.
for the call, James.
Appreciate
it, man.
Great call. So, David, you said a regular guy or gal can do this, someone with no real estate experience at all. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Someone sitting out there and they're thinking, I've never done real estate. I've just completely distanced from the realm of real estate. I'm going to let you answer that question on the other side of the break, and we're going to talk about how you can get started no matter where you are and get on your way to financial freedom. We're on with David Fisher, multi-millionaire real estate investor. Join us on the other side of the break.
We're back with the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. We're here to answer your questions and help you become financially free.
This is David Ruzicka with Lifestyles Unlimited. I'm glad to be with you today. We've been talking to David Fisher today. He's a multi-millionaire real estate investor, but not just any real estate investor. He's a guy who joined Lifestyles Unlimited, was making $65,000 a year with his wife, and became a multi-millionaire because he took the education and put it to use. And my goal for you today is to understand how you can have that kind of life-changing experience yourself. If you have a question, if you want to ask David a question, give us a call, 855-497-4300. 855-497-4335. I'm going to repeat that, 855-497-4335. Now, David, on the other side of the break, question I get all the time, people say, I have no real estate experience. Do I need to get a realtor's license? Do I need to become a real estate professional? All those kind of questions. I have no experience at all with real estate. Can I do this? Is this something that I can do? I'm a regular person with no background in that area.
Absolutely. That was my exact same situation when I joined Lifestyles. I had no prior real estate experience other than the house I already lived in. And that's what's cool about Lifestyles is we take brand new people from all different backgrounds. It doesn't matter if you're a police officer or a truck driver, an engineer, a lawyer. Doesn't matter. We can show you how to do it. And it doesn't take a lot of time. Anyone can do this, and that's what's awesome about it. Now, it takes some money to do this. This isn't a get-rich-quick thing. It takes money. It's not a zero-down, money for nothing, those things you hear on TV at night. It takes money. Now, what does Lifestyles focus on? We teach people how to buy single-family and multifamily investing, which is houses and apartments. That's what we teach. So what does it take to actually get involved? Realistically, you need at least $30,000 somewhere to invest. It can be your 401k, your IRA, your TSP. It takes money to do this. So I want people to understand that listening today, it does take money to invest in real estate, but we love real estate. Why? Look at everything else out there you can invest in. The bonds, your IRAs, your 401ks. It goes up and down. It's all gambling. It's all crazy. But the fact is this, guys, think about it. 70% of all millionaires come from what? Real estate investing. So if that's where most millionaires come from, isn't that something you would want to learn more about? And what I love about Lifestyles is you have all these other asset classes out there. Why pick real estate over the other asset class? I mean, be real with yourselves listening right now. Real estate, if done properly, the way that I actually teach in my seminar, can make money 5 different ways. No other asset class can make money 5 different ways. And you're like, well, what are these 5 different ways? Well, that's why I encourage you, if you're listening for the first time, if you want to know more about this, go to lifestylesunlimited.com. Sign up for that free workshop because Dave Ruzicka, the guy that's actually interviewing me today, he actually teaches that free workshop. And one thing he covers in that free workshop is how to make money 5 different ways in real estate because no other asset class can do that. And really quick, without going into detail, David, would you at least tell them the 5 categories, and then if we have time, we can actually break them down for people. Would you go through that really quick with them so they know what they are?
Yeah, and just to be clear, I'm going to show you a clear example of actually a property that I own, that I bought, how I make money through cash flow. It's number 1, through equity capture. Number 2, by the way, the cash flow on that house was 70% a year when I bought it. Never did that in the stock market. Equity capture, I had a 250% capital gain on the equity capture. I'll show you exactly how I did that during that workshop. Through appreciation, through principal pay down, and then through the tax benefits, depreciation. When is the last time you bought a stock or a mutual fund that could do any of that for you? So come to the free workshop. We'll show you how you make money all those different ways. With the stock, it's up or down, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so folks listening, I just want to be real with you. I mean, I want you to understand. Look at your portfolio now. When you come to my seminar, here's what I teach. I teach minimum rate of return. And I want you to look at this. What is my minimum rate of return that I teach my students? The minimum we're going to make is 8% annualized tax-free. Now, most of you would say, wow, I'd love to make 8% because my dividend-paying stocks are paying 3 to 4%. If I could make 8%, that'd be awesome. But notice I said minimum. We typically make between 8 to 30% return. And right now in today's market, why it's the best time to be a real estate investor, guys, is interest rates are an all-time lower and rents are an all-time high. So we're making really high rates of return. And not only are we going to make that every single year, that 8% return, if you do it correctly, the way I'm going to show you, we make over 100% return on the capital gains. Literally, we double our money every 2 to 3 years. So I want you to think, if you're listening to this for the first time, take whatever amount of money you have in your IRA, your 401k, your TSP, it doesn't matter, in your stock portfolio, and double it. Now, what if you did that every 2 years for the next 5 years? You see how you can retire quickly doing that? Let's say you have 100K. 2 years later, it turns to 200K. 2 years later, 200K turns to 400K. 400K turns to 800K. Is that better than what you're getting now? Because I've done even better than what I just told you. Is it not worth coming to an hour-and-a-half long free workshop to learn how you could do that as well? I just want you to have an open mind to a new opportunity, and I want you to think, why do we want real estate over all these other classes? Here's why we love investing in real estate. It's a necessity, not a luxury item. Think about that. No matter what the economy's doing, guys, everyone needs a place to live. So this is what Del Walmsley, our founder, decided. 30 years ago, he says, I am tired of losing money in the market. I want something that's not going to be changed by whoever the president is or whatever's happening, globally in the economics where oil and gas goes up and down, where none of that's affected. And he found out there's lots of ways to do real estate, but only one that can survive the market craziness of going on in our world.
David, can you hold on for just a second? Because here, you're answering my question before I asked it. So I'm going to ask it, and I want you to keep on saying what you're saying, because here's the big pushback from everybody. People are like, the stock market, what's going to happen with the stock market? COVID, the world is upside down. Half the restaurants in major cities will never open again. And why would I want to go start investing in real estate right now? I mean, Biden just said, hey, everybody needs to mask up for 100 days. I mean, it is really an upside down, crazy kind of world right now. So what should I do? I mean, fear is at an all-time high for many people. Should I invest in real estate?
Yeah, that's a great question. So let me allude more to that, because that is one of the fears out there. People are like, well, maybe I should wait. Maybe I should time this. No, we've been doing this for over 30 years here at Lifestyles Unlimited. Del Walmsley understood this. So his first rule he teaches in investing is never lose money. You're like, well, people lose money all the time in the stock market. Yes, they do. They're actually taught to lose money. But Del said, I want something that can survive the up or down market. So how do we not lose money? Well, first off, we make money when we buy. What do I mean by that? When you come to my seminar that I actually teach and show how to do this, I actually go live in the class, find a property online. I'm going to teach you how to find properties online where I can make at least 100% return, literally doubling our money. I do that live in the class. And you know what? If you're watching that class, you can literally buy that property. A lot of people that come to my seminar actually buy the property I find in the seminar. Sometimes people buy that, which is awesome. But really, I'm just trying to show you how to do it so you can do it on your own anytime, but you can actually buy that property. Now, when I do that, I don't sit there and pay full retail. That's what most people do. Susie Homemaker goes out there and buys a $300,000 house for $300,000. What I do is I teach you how to find foreclosures, HUD homes, somebody going through divorce, where someone already lost money, where we can make 100% return because we're buying distressed assets. This is what we love. So we're not paying full price. We're going to $100,000 neighborhood and paying $70,000 per house. Might need $5,000 or $10,000 worth of work. So we're all in at $80,000. It's worth $100,000. We captured $20,000 equity. But I'm going to teach you how to actually buy that $20,000 with equity for only $10K. So think about it. If you invested $10,000 and you get to $20,000, you doubled your money. That's what I show you how to do. Now, what if you did that with a house? The same thing can be done with an apartment. It could be $100K turned to $200K, that 100% return, whatever amount of money you have. So that's the first thing. We got to buy right. We buy stuff below market value. We're not buying perfect properties, okay? That's the first thing I teach. But the second thing that Del came up with is we want to focus on the middle class. Now, why did he pick the middle class? He says, I don't want to do the high-end stuff, and I don't want to do the low-end stuff. Now, why did he decide that?
Let's talk about that on the other side of the break. If you got a question for David Fisher, 855-497-4335. We're going to continue talking about financial independence. David is one of the Lifestyles Unlimited 2-day instructors. Talk to you more on the other side of the break.
Welcome back to the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. Now, let's get back to your map to financial freedom.
Glad to be with you today. This is David Ruzicka with Lifestyles Unlimited. I'm here with David Fisher. There's two things I want you to do. Number one, if you have a question, if you want to ask a multi-millionaire real estate investor a question about residential real estate, 855-497-4335. 855-497-4335. Also, if you were ready to get started, if you've been listening to the radio show for a while, but you've never been to one of our free workshops, I want you to go to lifestylesunlimited.com. Get signed up for that. If you need a number to call Lifestyles Unlimited during the week, 866-945-6565. We'd love to hear from you. We were talking to David right before the break. What about COVID? What do I do during COVID? Should I be investing in real estate? I got to wear a mask for 100 days, Joe Biden says. David, finish your answer there to that question.
Sure. So what I was saying is Del was so smart 30 years ago when he came up with this model. First off, I said it was never lose money. We make money, we buy, so that's one way of mitigating our risk. But real estate investing, we only do single-family homes, we only do multifamily homes. Why do we do that? Because it's necessity, not luxury. So everybody think during COVID, what happened? During this pandemic, all these people are losing their jobs, all that. Now, who is our demographic? It's the middle class. Del decided we don't do the high-end stuff, we don't do the low-end stuff 30 years ago. Now, why do you do that? Think about it, guys. The low-end housing is what? those people are one transmission break or one flat tire away from being broke. So if their transmission goes out, they can't pay their rent. We know that. Also, those people aren't essential workers. Those are people that are grinding by, but the government's going to take care of them. What are they going to do? You have welfare, you have public housing. That is not our demographic. The same thing with the high-end stuff. Why don't we do that? Well, big companies downsize. The guy with six-figure incomes, they become the middle class. In other words, they become my customer. The biggest population is the middle class. So that's who our customer is. Dell wanted the biggest pool of people that would be our customers, which is the middle class. Now, why was Dell such a genius? Think about COVID, guys. The middle class is your hardworking Americans, folks like you out there, the people with essential jobs. And this is how we mitigate our risk during COVID while everybody else is struggling. Our renters are the middle class. Our renters are the essential workers. So they're the truck drivers. They're the people who work for UPS. They're your medical professionals. They all kept their jobs. And what do? Just like all of you did. You tightened up your belt. They couldn't go out to eat anymore, so they had to stay at home. They were only allowed to go to one place during COVID, which was what? Walmart. They went to Walmart. They bought great value bread, great value peanut butter. They brought it home and made it in my apartment or my house that they were renting from me. Now, I want you to think about this. One last thing on this. When people pay me rent, let's say a house is $1,000 a month. I will teach you how to screen these residents so we get the best ones, these essential workers, to rent from me. But it's a 3-to-1 ratio. That's what I teach in my seminar. In other words, if they rent for $1,000, they have to make $3,000 a month. Now, you think about that. Can you think of any other class of investment out there where people get up, go to their jobs every single day, and that's 1/3 of their income? Think how powerful it is. They're giving 1/3 of their income every single time to you, and on that, the profits we make is $200 to $600 on these houses. We're going to make that 8 to 30% return a year. Now, we have 5 different ways to make money in real estate, so even if COVID or one of these things would pull back, the other 4 would make up for it. No other asset class can do this. This is why during COVID we're making such great rate of returns, because people still need a place to live, and it just makes sense, guys. I just want you to diversify your portfolio into some real estate, hear about it, learn how to do it, come to that free workshop, come to my seminar, and I will show you every step of the way to do that on your own.
Do I have to have good credit to do this?
Okay, I want you guys to be realistic. It does take money, and it does take credit to do this. However, there's 2 ways of doing it. Remember, I told you we teach both single-family and multifamily investing. If you want to buy single-family houses, you do need good credit. What is good credit? It's about a 650 credit score. You really only need about 620, but I want you to have 650 because credit scores fluctuate. But what if you say, well, I have a bankruptcy, a foreclosure, a short sale, I can't do this? Not true. You're not going to be able to get loans in single-family, but in multifamily, that doesn't matter, guys. If you come to my seminar, I'll teach you how you can do partnering, and we buy these big, large apartment communities. Now, people go, well, I got to be a millionaire to do that. No, you don't. We have truck drivers. We have law enforcement officers. People can put $25,000 or $50,000 in an apartment community, even though it's a $20 million apartment community. Remember, it's a whole bunch of people get together to buy these. You're making those same returns I told you, 8, 10, 12% a year, and then 100% every 2 years. So even if you had a bankruptcy, yes, you can do it, but you still have to have the money, 50, 75, 100K. You put money in deals, and it doubles every 2 years, and it makes that 8, 10, 12% a year. And it is so easy to invest in apartments. Basically, you put your money in the deal, you get a check once a quarter, and every 2 to 3 years you double your money. Man, that is life-changing. It is so much better than what I was doing prior to lifestyles in the stock market.
I've got a question from a guy here. He says, what if I'm working 60, 70, 80 hours a week? Can I do real estate investing?
Absolutely. So when I get members that come in, you got to realize I have people from every walk of life. We have police officers, doctors, lawyers, all kind of come to my seminar. Guys in the tech world working 70 hours a week. We understand that. If you really don't have much time, the easiest way to do this is multifamily investing. In Lifestyles, we're going to teach you about something called a lead investor. He's a guy who puts these apartment deals together, and something called a passive investor. So if you don't have a lot of time, I say, hey, let's look at passive investing. Basically, this lead investor puts the deal together. He puts a team of people together. They're all investing in the deal. Let's say like 10 doctors putting money with this one other guy. He's doing all the hands-on work. He's writing up the reports. He's finding the property. Your job is to do what? Invest in the deal, get a paycheck once a quarter. We call it mailbox money. You're going to get profits and loss statements, all that. I'm going to teach you how to read all that stuff. Don't worry about it. And then about every 2 years, we should double that money. and we finance it through a loan. We get a bigger loan on the property. When it goes up in value, we pour our money back out tax-free. I'll show you why it's tax-free in the seminar. I break it down number by number in just simple terms, where basically we make 100% return about every 2 years. I mean, it is life-changing. Think about it, guys. Like I said earlier, take whatever amount of money you have, 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand, double it every 2 years. Would that not be life-changing? Take this premise, guys. Look at whatever you've been doing for the past 5 years. Whatever you've been doing for the past 5 years has not made you a millionaire. Whatever you're doing is not effective or is not working. Come to Lifestyles. Let me show you how you can double that money. If you just double the money one time, even if you take a portion, let's say you have $300K to work with, hey, let's just take $50K to see how it goes. I understand that. You turn $50K into $100K, and guess what? You will be a believer. It will be life-changing if you just double your money one time. And that's what I show you how to do in both single-family and multifamily investing when you come to the seminar. I break it down step by step how to do that.
I've got a question from a guy. He says, I live in a small town in Texas. I'm not close to a good market, not a lot of properties. Can I do this? And I'll just expand that. Someone's listening to the podcast later. What if they live in a state that is like a landlord unfriendly state? Can they do this? Can they do single family investing, and can they do multifamily investing?
Right. That is a great question. And here's how we always answer that. Invest where it makes sense, live where you want. There are areas that are terrible for real estate investing. I'm just going to be real with you. If I can't make an 8% return minimum and 100% every 2 years, I don't like that market. I will find a market that you can make that type of return. So it's the same thing with the busy people. You can be living in California, and it's not very landlord-friendly, or you can be living in some podunk town with 12 people. That's not going to make sense because there's not enough jobs, and the demographics of the area, it just doesn't make sense as a rental. So why not invest in an apartment out of the area? I have people in California. I have people in Israel. I have people in Hawaii that invest in Texas or Georgia where it makes more sense. So it doesn't matter where you live. Anyone can do this. Remember, when we teach your lifestyles, we teach nationwide. I know this radio show I'm on today is the Texas-only radio show, but we do have over 100 stations nationwide. We do a national show. So people are over there in Hawaii listening to me. So we actually go out to Hawaii. We seminars out there. Those people in Hawaii, they don't invest out there. Why? Hawaii's too expensive. But they'll invest in other states like Phoenix, Arizona. They'll invest in Georgia. And they don't even have to be there. Everything in the virtual world can all be done with email, DocuSign, and all that. And we teach you how to do that during the seminar. So it doesn't matter where you live, guys. You can do this.
We actually had a case study. A guy in Hawaii has bought 2 single-family houses in Houston, and he's never been here in person to see those houses.
And he was a truck driver, and, I was interviewing him, there, and people were asking questions and whatnot, and I even made him blow his horn. And that's the thing. We have lots of events like this. Not only do we have a free workshop that David Ruzicka teaches, but if you go to his free workshop, he'll probably be able to get you a link. Normally it's a members-only thing where we do a case study, which he just talked about, where you can actually hear the members and their stories and what they've done. Coming to my seminar with no real estate experience, that was the example he said of the guy from Hawaii. He came to my seminar, knew nothing about real estate. Here he is from Hawaii, buying properties in Texas and making great rates of return. So it doesn't matter where you live, guys. You can do this.
That is great. Hey, if you have any other questions, call our office, 866-945-6565. Go to lifestylesunlimited.com. Join me for the free workshop. It's right there on the main page. You click that button. It'll take you so you can get registered. I'll be teaching a week from tomorrow. We also have one on Wednesday at noon. Hey, we want to just work with you to change your lifestyle, to retire you in 5 years or less.
The Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show is for entertainment purposes only. Please consult a professional regarding your personal investment needs. Nothing presented on the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show constitutes an endorsement, recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or security.